Hi everybody, it's Joey from thephysicaleducator.com. I hope you're doing great. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an intro to this video because you're going to see it's kind of weird how it's put together. But in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how you can get the most out of PEChat, which is our weekly Twitter chat on all things physical education that is hosted on Twitter Spaces. Now, Twitter Spaces is pretty new to a lot of teachers, especially teachers who may have not logged into their Twitter account in a long time. So Twitter Spaces is Twitter's built-in social audio platform. And what we've done is that we've leveraged that platform to make PEChat as engaging and as fun as possible. So each week, Elise Lachlan and I host PEChat on Twitter Spaces. And some of the feedback we got at the end of last season was that people were still trying to figure out how to navigate their way around the platform. So this video is actually a collection of videos that I put together and shared on Twitter in a thread to kind of walk you through each one of the different features of Twitter Spaces so that you feel comfortable when you join PEChat to be able to interact with others, share your ideas, speak up, and just get the most out of it as possible. And you can click on the video chapters down on the progress bar down below to jump to anything where you're like, I don't know how to do this. You can go do that there. And that's it, okay? Sorry I didn't record this intro when I recorded all the other videos. I wasn't thinking it I'd put on YouTube, but here we are. I hope your teaching's going great. Keep taking care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Okay, so first of all, what is PEChat? Well, PEChat is a weekly discussion that takes place on Twitter that explores all things physical education. We first launched PEChat back in 2012, which means that this is PEChat's 10th year anniversary, which is insane. And the chat has definitely evolved over the years. The goal of PEChat is to help you connect with like-minded physical educators, get exposed to new ideas and resources that you can bring into your teaching, and just schedule some time for some professional reflection every week. It's constantly evolving, like I said. Now we host PEChat on Twitter Spaces, and I can honestly say that I've heard from several teachers that PEChat has been their entry point into using social media for professional development purposes and has been their ticket into the online phys ed community. So I really hope you consider joining in. So as I mentioned before, PEChat is hosted on Twitter Spaces, Twitter's social audio platform that's built right into their app. Spaces is relatively new, which is amazing because it's exciting, there's all kinds of new possibilities, and it's also kind of frustrating because it's constantly kind of changing and evolving really quickly. That said, what I love about Twitter Spaces is that it allows us to hear each other's voices and just gives us a new way to be able to connect with one another and build our professional network and continue to learn on a weekly basis. So I want to make you really comfortable with the Twitter Spaces platform, which is the purpose of this thread. So let's dive into how you can join a Twitter Space so you can get the most out of your PEChat experience. So if you're already following thephysicaleducator.com, joining in PEChat on Twitter Spaces is pretty simple. If you're on mobile, at the top of your Twitter timeline, you're going to see a purple Spaces bar that's going to appear. And if you tap on that, you're going to have a prompt that's going to invite you to start listening into the space. If ever you don't see that, or if you're not on mobile, let's say you're on your desktop, simply navigate to thephysicaleducator.com's profile, and from there you'll see a Twitter Spaces card that you can tap on and start listening in from there. Now, once you've joined a Twitter space, you'll be able to hear everything that the hosts and speakers are sharing. That said, there are a couple ways that you're able to engage with what's being shared without necessarily speaking yourself. The first way to do this is to react with emoji. At the bottom of your Twitter Spaces profile, you'll be able to see a little heart icon with a plus, and if you tap that, it will give you an option for a variety of emojis that you can choose from. Tapping on any of those emojis will have them appear on top of your profile photo within the space, and they'll disappear after a couple of seconds. Now, if ever you want to raise your hand to speak, you can tap the raise hand emoji, and that one there will be a little bit more persistent. It will stay on your profile until a co-host or a speaker asks you to remove it or gives you permission to speak. Now, another way for you to be able to react to what's being said is to actually tweet within the space. In the bottom right-hand corner of the space profile, you'll see a little chat icon, and if you hit on that, what it's going to do is bring you over to the space card and invite you to tweet from the bottom of that card. What will happen is all the tweets that are sent out from there will be gathered within the card so that you're actually able to go back and read through the threads that all the participants were creating while the space was happening. Now, although reacting with emojis or tweeting within the space are great ways to be able to engage in the chat while it's happening, nothing beats actually having your own voice heard. So to share your voice, all you have to do is hit the request button, the little microphone that you see at the bottom left corner of the space. And what that will do is send a request to the host, and they'll be able to give you permission to be able to speak up and share within the space. This is awesome for some of our formats like the PEChat helpline and PubPD, where we want to hear from as many different participants as possible. So please make sure you're not being too shy. Have your voice heard. You never know how you'll be able to impact the teaching of other physical educators. Now, if ever you're not able to make it to PEChat during the time that's taking place, which is on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, if the chat was recorded, you can actually go back to the Twitter Space card that was tweeted out from my account, and you can listen to the recording. This is just another way to be able to tune in. It's like listening to a podcast, just another great way to be able to interact with PEChat, share your thoughts, and build your community.